Welcome to Eye on Gainesville. I'm Katil Feltz. I'm here at Anoda Elementary School standing in the Smartville Plant Kingdom. We're going to tell you all about this plant kingdom and why this is such a smart garden in just a few moments. A little bit later in this edition of Eye on Gainesville, we're going to take you all over the community as we visit the 13th annual butterfly release at Wilshire Trails Park. We'll go out to the Chattahoochee Golf Course for the graduation, the 2009 graduation class of the Citizens Government Academy, and we'll take you through several days of Georgia Cities Week. Joining me now at the Smartville Garden here at Anoda Elementary is Mark Folkley, owner of the Folkley Garden Company. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
I know that you have put in gardens all over the town, all over the state, but it has to give you a lot of pride to drive by Anoda and see the work that you have participated in here at the school.
I really have enjoyed this, and I enjoy seeing it every day. When I come from home on the way to work, I drive right by, and it is fun to see it progress. It certainly is. Let's
talk about what's out here. As I stand here, I see several different sections. Certainly I know this was all about conservation. So tell us a little bit about how the idea was actually born.
Well, the idea came out of a committee, gardening committee at Anoda, and some of the parents, teachers, administrators got together to work up a garden plan for Anoda, and the project evolved out of that effort.
And then you all started working, volunteers came forward. I assume that you're the one who designed and planned everything out.
Well, my wife and I did most of the design work, and we talked among ourselves, and we talked with a lot of the other people who were interested in the project, and really the design ideas just evolved out of those discussions and out of thinking about what could be done here and what could be fun to do here and what could be useful for the school in the science curriculum.
Now, with the idea starting over a year ago, that was certainly, we were in the height of the drought then. So tell me what was really important to you as you started thinking about this kind of a garden.
Well, there are so many things that we can learn from a garden like this. One of the most important things that I was interested in including was the lessons that we've all learned from the drought. The drought in a way was, you could consider, a blessing in disguise, because it really made us wake up and rethink the way we're using our water resources. And it's been painful, it's been difficult, it's been expensive in many ways. It's been a learning experience that's been very valuable for us. And so we've tried to convey some of the things that we've learned from the drought by the way we've built this garden.
What are you doing for conservation? Certainly I can see the water tank. Now tell us, there's a water tank in front of the school, so certainly someone who works for the city and real involved in the public utilities department, I just really enjoy driving by and seeing this. And you say this actually operates.
It does. We have 3 different containers that we store rainwater in. The largest containers are underground. We have 3,700 gallons of storage capacity underground in the front, which nobody sees. Then we also have 2 1,100-gallon containers above ground, and then the third kind of container is the water tower. Actually, it's the smallest. We can hold about 500 gallons of water in the water tower, but it's sort of a symbol or a teaser, really, for the entire system, since the rest of the system is either underground or rather inconspicuous.
How long did that process actually take? Digging up, burying that, and working
the 2 underground tanks went in very quickly. In fact, that was one of the first things that we did. The underground tanks went in just over a weekend, and then we built the garden on top of them in the front of the school.
And how does the water get from those tanks to the garden where we're standing?
Well, it's all very simple. Really, the water comes off the roof. We're collecting only roof water. It's really 2 solutions in one. We're solving 2 problems at the same time with the same very simple system. We're collecting rainwater that we can use to water the garden with. It's free. It doesn't have any chlorine in it. We haven't spent a lot of money putting chlorine in it and treating it and making it clean enough to drink. So we're using that water on the garden. And then at the same time, another important benefit is that we're not dumping that water straight into the stormwater system, which is already overwhelmed.
I also noticed, Mark, this small pond over here. Tell me about that.
Well, after the cisterns fill up, then what happens with the water? Well, some of that excess water goes into this infiltration pond over here. And what we're trying to do with that is to, again, slow the runoff down, hold some of it, let it soak in, and in that area we can plant other kinds of plants that there's no proper environment for in the rest of the garden. In that area we can plant plants that like to have a lot of water.
Let's talk about some of the plants that you've chosen and why these are going to work here at Enoda.
Well, really, there are about 3 different criteria that we've used to select the plants. First, we wanted all the plants to be very drought tolerant, so that once the garden was established, that we wouldn't have to spend a whole lot of time with supplementary water. So, of course, until they're established, we'll have to water. But thereafter, we want a garden that's composed generally of plants that won't need extra water. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we wanted it to be interesting and appealing. So a lot of the plants are, well, really all the plants are selected with ornament in mind. Color, texture, interesting shapes, long bloom time, that kind of thing. And then finally, the garden is also intended to be used as a part of the science curriculum for the school. In the 5th grade, the science curriculum does include plant taxonomy, which is simply the science of organizing the plant kingdom into groups. There are 9 plant groups called phyla, and every plant in the world fits into one of these 9 groups. So we're helping, or the garden is going to help the teachers who teach the science curriculum to convey that idea or those ideas more readily, more completely. So we're organizing the plants by group.
This is certainly the best example of a living classroom that exists anywhere, I think.
Well, it's everybody likes to be outdoors. The kids like it. It's good for the kids to come out and have a breath of fresh air and see the birds. They can see the birds who are nesting in the houses that they painted. They can see the plants growing that they planted. They can see the little seedlings coming out of the ground where they planted the seeds. So I think that all that will be fun and useful.
Certainly, since I have you here with me today, I want to ask you, as the expert, people here in Gainesville, the Hall County area, looking for things they can do for their garden that can make it as long-lasting and beautiful and drought-tolerant as this one, what would you recommend?
Well, I think be careful with plant selection. Think about how much water the plants are going to need, and then think about a way to collect water and use water that otherwise would be going to waste. Those are the 2 things that I think are the most important.
Mark, thank you for joining us today and sharing so much information and education about the Smartville Garden.
Thank you. It's been a treat. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.